each with a different beginning, a different destination. They ride together, and in this journey can be seen the daily miracle that is the New York City transit system.
The R-32s are a type of subway car that were built in 1964 by the Bud Company for the New York City subway. They were nicknamed the Brightliners for their appearance, with corrugated steel walls that were similar to an old-fashioned washboard. After a ceremonial run that ran along the commuter tracks to Grand Central, they first entered service on the Brighton Line's Q variations and D lines. And now, almost 60 years later, they're retiring.
I have never done this before, but I am here at the 2nd Avenue subway station for the R-32 retirement.
This is a D680 Express train to 145th Street, next West 4th Street.
The D-Line was the second main subway line to run the R-32s, after the Q and its local variations. This is the route for the R-32D train from 2nd Avenue on the F to 145th on the D in Harlem.
Attention passengers, good morning and welcome aboard the farewell runs of the R-32 equipment. This train is operating as a D train to 145th Street, making D train stops. This train is being retired after 58 years of service.
There was a Christmas wreath on one end, and there were also decals on the other end displaying what the R-32 displays used to look like before they were overhauled in the 1980s.
Oh yeah.
Fist bump?
No problem.
The R-32s were the last subway cars built for the MTA that had storm doors that could be looked out of, so naturally people would crowd in front of the door for the view. There was also this guy with a GoPro stick, which was kinda annoying, but it's also smart at the same time.
He says to 2nd Avenue.
The D-Line runs were nice, but it got a whole lot better. Hey, jeez, I'm here on the streets of Brighton Beach. Check out the last run, the last day of the R-32 final runs. I actually don't really know where I am right now. From the 1960s to the 1980s, the Q, QB, QT, which became the QJ, were all reformed and they were merged back into the Q line. This route has been designated as the Express Q, running express from Brighton Beach along the B to Prospect Park, then along the Q to 96th Street and 2nd Avenue. Trains were packed like sardines, like you couldn't move at all. It was impossible to move around cars or between cars if you didn't book it at stations.
And for the closing doors, please.
There was also this journalist for New York Special 1 News, and people were chanting crossing the Manhattan Bridge.
Avenue-bound Q Express train. Next stop, 14th Street, Union Square.
Also, somehow that GoPro stick became a suction cup on that window. The R-32 ran along the 2nd Avenue subway, which is the newest part of the subway system, and costed $6.3 billion. So I wonder why the trains were this loud.
To accept connecting passengers from the arriving F train.
Oh, listen, it's perfect. Sorry.
Off at Newkirk for this leaving shot, and the local queue I got may have been a movie train. At Sheepshead Bay, I waited 40 minutes out in the cold for this shot, in freezing temperatures, but it was worth it. And also, here's a Reddit post, and there's the GoPro that I'm recording from. People have traveled all over the country just to see this train running one last time.
Hey yo, no more people on this car.
There's Atlantic.
Yo, this is the train to the Super Bowl. Word.
Our Man of the Road series.
This is the train to Yankee Stadium. Word.
Let's go, Yankees!
Overall, the retirement runs were great with their decorations, amazing people, and stories people had. Props to the MTA and the New York Transit Museum for hosting a great send-off event for the R-32 subway cars.
Beach